Well, good morning, everyone. Once again, welcome to another live this morning. Got my vitamin C. How you guys doing? Okay, a few folks are coming on. Hello, Marilyn. How are you? You're number one this morning, Marilyn. Here we go. John, Elgin, Illinois. Rosa, Mike from Norland. And Nativity, good morning. Dubraka, how are you? Lori, Niagara Falls. We appreciate you guys coming on here. Rosa, Rose, sorry. Nellie, good morning. Alma, good morning. Wendy. And Chantal, Ottawa. Bernice. Lillian, good morning. Wanda. And Margaret. And Ashley, good morning. And Susan. Brenda. New Brunswick. Sandra from Brampton. Catherine. Springdale, Newfoundland. Diane, how are you? Fran, Orangeville. Bernice, Newfoundland. Mary, good morning. And Maggie, how are you? Renee, how you doing? Catherine. And Yolande, bonjour. Georgie, Halifax. You're having a coffee too, huh? Good for you. Dave, Margaret. And Gail. And Brenda, Campbell River, British Columbia. Linda, Susan, right in the middle of Newfoundland, she says. Alicia, Jackie from Toronto. Sherry, and my buddy, Dr. Troy Bennett in Newfoundland. Mara, Bruno, good morning. Micheline, a couple of more. And Betty Lynn, Mary, our Marie, Jen, on the East Coast, Rhonda. Oh, I want to sing, Rhonda. You have no idea. And Catherine, Debbie, Brenda, and Sherry. Oh, they're all songs in my heart. Ida. And Sue, she says, it reminds her of the romper room. Wendy, Carol, and you guys are great. Bruno. Linda, St. Jude, Quebec. Okay, let's get going. This morning, I want to talk to you a little bit. We're going to just finish up on stress. And we got a lot of feedback yesterday. That was good, okay? Because I think I touched a little nerve with people because they really could identify with what we were talking about yesterday. Big problem in our society today. Big problem. A lot of people, we really got exposed, I believe, through the last couple of years. And with the shutdowns and with the stress and you know, it just wasn't normal, right? And so what happened, I really think it exposed the underbelly in a couple of ways in our society. One, it really exposed metabolic syndrome. The fact that, and we talked about this quite a bit, that nobody was talking about the elephant in the room. People that were getting sick had underlying conditions of metabolic syndrome. Of course, I explained that in our book, The Metabolic Reset, okay, a lot, because that's a big issue, and people today are carboholics, big time. If you ever seen a change in the world, and I've watched it, I'm old enough to say that I've watched it, that we've become carboholics, and to the point that there are forces in the world that are trying to get us away. I mean, they did it. If you read the history, if you read about Dr. Kellogg's, and if you read about Ansel Keys, a pathologist, I mean, these people had an enormous influence on nutrition, on medicine, and the education, the little education that medicine has in nutrition, it's wrong. And you would think that there would be a correction, right? You would think that people that's not true. How could that be true, right? And no, they doubled down, they tripled down on bad advice. And that is to stay away from the animal kingdom in terms of your eating choices. And they want to look what they're doing to farmers. And in the name of climate, 30% or 33% or whatever are decrease in fertilizer. It's to get away from the farming and the animal products. It's crazy. It doesn't make any sense. But anyway, so on that side, I think that's been compounded. Okay? And we're eating wrong. I brought to you, maybe last week or the week before, I talked to you about all the tea in China. All the money in the world not going to pay for health care because we don't have a health care system. We have a disease care system. And just diabetes alone, will sink our economies. It's so expensive to treat. Just diabetes alone. And the problem is nobody is saying, well, how do we stop it? How do we stop diabetes in its tracks? And we could. Because diabetes is a food problem. But we give people bad advice. We tell them, we need a balanced diet. And that has been put into the psyche of people, hook, line, and sinker. People believe that. Oh, it's moderation. It's not moderation, my friend. It's elimination. It's elimination. But we don't want to talk about that. But anyways, on this program, we will. Now, the other issue. Okay, so food, and we've really seen it accentuated in the last couple of years. Doubling down on the nonsense. And they're not, they don't go after my generation as much. Because they my generation believes in moderation. My parents' generation didn't understand that fat doesn't make you fat and cholesterol is actually good for you and yada, yada, yada. My parents bought the low-fat craze, hook, line, and sinker. They took it all in because they said, well, if doctors are telling us that cholesterol is the problem in heart disease, if cholesterol and fat, eating butter, and eat margarine instead of butter is good for you. Well, the doctors are telling me it's good. I don't want to have high blood pressure. I don't want to have cholesterol. I don't want to have any of this. They must be right. And so therefore, I'm going to have in the morning, I can't have bacon and eggs because that's going to give me cholesterol. I'm going to have cereal, and Cheerios are great. They're good for me. They're full of fiber and all brand and oats, and it must be good. Nah. No. No, it's not. It's the opposite of that. And anybody that's my age and above listening to me this morning knows exactly what I'm talking about. It's been pounded in, and they beat on the drum. They just beat on it, beat on it, beat on it. It doesn't matter if it's true. It doesn't matter. This is the way it's going to be. But what they're doing now, okay, so my generation, my parents' generation, they got it, and it was disaster, but doesn't matter. They doubled down. But you know what they're doing now? They're going after the kids. And they're telling them that cows, I guess you could have one for a pet, but you're certainly not going to eat it. It's not good for you. Red meat is bad. Bacon is bad. And the kids, it's being drummed into them. You would be surprised. Well, maybe you wouldn't. But I spent, anytime I had a young person in my office, and I used to see a lot of them with hormonal issues, young ladies, mostly. And they had this, I'm going to be a vegetarian. Even better, a vegan. And I said, can I talk you out of that? Can I talk you out of it? In a very kind way. I was very kind with you because I love young people. I do. If I'd have known grandchildren that much fun, we'd have had them first. I love young people. They're being duped. They're being duped. I said, that's not good for you. Why do you think you're anemic? All the fruits and vegetables in the world. It ain't meat. It ain't eggs. It's not dairy. You need all three of those. You want to be healthy? You want to be healthy? You need the animal kingdom. You need protein coming from the animal kingdom. There's nothing better. You know, we put out a newsletter this morning. Do you get our newsletters? Make sure you get it, because we give a lot of detail in there. Anyway, we were talking about glutathione. Okay? Remember, what's our little Martin Clinic saying? What's glutathione? Well, your body makes it. What is it? Well, it's Velcro. It's your master detoxer. Glutathione. Okay? And the key to it is that your cells make it. It helps them to detox. You know, when someone talks to you about doing a liver detox, I always tell people, well, yeah, I believe in detoxing your liver. How do you do that, doc? What do you take? Well, it's what you eat will detox your liver. If you want to do a detox, then let's all jump in with Wendy and the crew on the Martin Clinic Facebook group. We're going to start on, when's September 1st? Thursday? We're going to start a group. We're going to do it together if you want to jump in. It's always good to get in with a group because we can sort of pump each other's tires up. But you know what we're doing? In the first week, in week number 1, you know what we're going to be doing together? We are going to be emptying our livers. When you don't eat sugar and you have no crappy carbs, you literally are emptying your liver. Because when you eat sugar, honey, you fill your liver up. The Costco parking lot, it's full of fat from sugar and crappy carbs. And we empty it. And when you empty your liver, that's good for you. Because you know why? Because in your liver, you produce glutathione 10 times more than anywhere else in your body. Glutathione, made up of 3 amino acids. And, glycine, glutamine, and cysteine. Now let me stop right there. Glycine, glutamine, and cysteine make up glutathione. You got that? 3 amino acids make up glutathione. Now your body makes it. But you're only as good as what you eat. And when you want 3 amino acids from your food, the best food in the world is steak. It has all those 3 amino acids. So does bone broth, by the way. But when you eat steak, you're elevating your glutathione. How can that be bad for you? What is glutathione? The master detox. It's the Velcro that travels in your bloodstream looking for garbage, heavy metals. What do we talk about? The new study that came out. I don't want to show you my credit card. I think I have one in here. My son said, don't show your credit card. People take your numbers. Okay. Hey, I'm a dinosaur. I don't even think about stuff like that. But every day, you and I eat, drink, absorb a credit card full of plastic. Yikes. And guys, you know me. The chicken or the egg. Okay? So for me, what's really important is not necessarily to get away from eating or absorbing into our bodies that credit card full of plastic. I think it's too bad, so sad, we live on this planet. On this planet, right now, we're not going to get away from it. I wouldn't worry so much about the climate. I worry more about the environment. I'm big on that because, this plastic, it ain't going away. You can't get rid of it. I told you about Roundup. 80% of us have Roundup, a carcinogen. We pee it out every day. It's in our tissue. 80%. Plastic and microplastics, 99.9% of the population. Mount Everest, it's on the top. It's in the soil. It's in the air. It's in the water. Thank you, DuPont. Hey, it's the planet you and I live on. And good luck with getting away from it. So, again, okay, remember the other day I talked to you about, I was telling a friend about this the other day. There was, in medicine, Louis Pasteur and André Béchamp, two Frenchmen. Two Frenchmen from France. Louis Pasteur and André Béchamp. I get to use my French. But anyway, Louis Pasteur believed, okay? Here's what Louis Pasteur believed. Viruses, bacteria, anything outside the body was the problem. Okay? Anything outside the body was the problem. He's a smart guy. Louis Pasteur. André Béchamp believed the problem wasn't outside the body. The problem is inside the body. Your immune system. The things that are in there, you can't control on the things on, because I had someone say, like everything, there's no plastic. We don't use plastic in the house. We don't use any chemical cleaners, and we don't do any of that. We don't use, everything is natural. There's nothing at all in our house. Okay. And I said, well, good for you. That's Louis Pasteur. Okay? Clean up your environment. Fix it. Don't, But, on the other side was, okay, now that we live in this kind of world, now that we live in that kind of world, let's do everything to build our immune system, to build our detox, because you're not going to get away from it. Where are you going to go live? You're never going to go outside? It's in the air. It's in water. It's in the soil. It's everywhere. So what do? I don't sit in the panic when I hear 99.9% of us have plastic in our tissue, microplastics. I don't sit in the panic. I don't. Or there's Roundup. It's in everything. You can't go from Africa to North America. What difference does it make? It's all around the world. You can't even run to the Caribbean because it's no better there. There's plastic in the oceans. It's everywhere. Anyway, I don't worry about, look, it's not that it doesn't concern us. Of course it does. And we ought to try and clean it up as much as we can. I believe in that. But what I believe even more is you and I taking care of what God has given us, and that is an immune system to be able to detox that. And one of those wonderful, amazing, master detox is glutathione. Glutathione. Your body makes it. But does it ever make it? In two things. Your body makes it in two major ways. One, when you eat amino acids. Found in steak and eggs and cheese, the bioavailability of those amino acids, those essential amino acids, there's nothing to compare in food. It's in the animal kingdom. God gave you a gallbladder. The reason he gave you a gallbladder, he didn't give a cow a gallbladder, didn't give a rabbit a gallbladder. They don't have gallbladder. Why? They're meant to eat grass. You're not. Okay? You're not meant to eat grass. Glorified salad is glorified grass. I'm not saying you can't have it. I'm just telling you, you can't live on it. Because there are no amino acids there that are going to help to increase your glutathione. One way to get glutathione is from food, and it's in the animal kingdom. Got it? One. The second way to help your natural detox in your body, glutathione, where it's made in your liver. 10 times more glutathione in your liver when your liver is working properly and the Costco parking lot is empty. Now your body produces glutathione. My friend, it comes back to food again. You empty your liver, and this is why it's such a big problem today. Not only has our environment changed, it really has. Okay? It really has. 100,000 new chemicals at least since World War II. It really has. And I don't care. I've been to China. I don't care you go to China. I don't care you go to Korea. I don't care if you go to Europe. I don't care if you go on top of the Swiss Alps. Go enjoy it. But you're not getting away. You won't, even if you lived on top. Oh, I found myself a little cabin on top of the Swiss Alps. Yeah, well, good for you. Invite us to visit you. We'd love to go. But not to get away from what's in the environment. No. André Béchamp was right. I'm not too worried about, if a virus comes around or a bacteria comes around, because they'll always come around. Folks, I wasn't scared skinny when they announced the pandemic. I wasn't scared skinny about it. At all. It didn't bring me fear. It didn't elevate my cortisol. Our reaction elevated my cortisol. Our burying the head in the sand about our immune system, that elevated my cortisol. To watch the world never talk, you see, because the world went Louis Pasteur. Hook, line, and sinker. Again and again and again. Medicine went that route. 100 years ago, they went that route. It's a virus. It's a bacteria. What's outside your body? That's why in medicine, nutrition, moderation. You need sugar. If you don't eat some sugar, your brain needs sugar to survive. No, it doesn't. Carbohydrates are essential. No, they're not. Protein is essential. Fat is essential. Saturated fat, satisfied fat is essential. Your body needs it. You need cholesterol. I'm sorry, you do. Cholesterol's not the problem. Cholesterol's the solution. Eat it. Guess where that's made too? In the liver. Boy, that liver is important, isn't it? But for a natural detox, you see, if we live in the environment we live in, I always tell people, what's the last thing on your address? What do you mean, my postal code? No. What planet are you on? Earth? Are you living on planet Earth? Yeah. Okay. Well, you need to take this seriously then. Get your immune system working. 1, make sure your liver is empty. What? What's that got to do with the immune system, Doc? Well, your liver makes glutathione. And glutathione is Velcro. And Velcro's itself to garbage, to toxins, to plastics, to chemicals, to you name it. It gets rid of it. Your body knows how to take care of itself. We live in a toxic soup. I'm sorry. I wish it weren't so. But it's so. So what? Well, so take care of yourself. That's what I try and preach. I'm a follower of André Béchamp and not Louis Pasteur. And look at Louis Pasteur and the descendants of that thinking. You know, antibiotics came out of there and, you know, medication and, you know, it's all right. I get it. Antibiotics can save your life. And if you need that, absolutely get it. Absolutely. But none of them in allopathic medicine talk about your immune system and how wonderfully and fearfully you are made. And your immune system is unreal if you help it along. Good eating. It's positive and negative in this sense. You want to eat well and eliminate sugar because sugar destroys your immune system. I've shown you that. Sugar stops your T cells, your Navy SEALs, the first responders. You know, when they were through this whole thing, they were applauding the first responders as heroes. I said, yeah, well, I'm thinking of other first responders. I'm thinking of T cells that come out of your lymphatic system. At the first sign of a virus or a bacteria that they don't like. And by the way, they don't work properly without sun. And they don't, they take a siesta when people insist on eating sugar. What a big problem. That's a huge problem today. And food, bad choices, suppress the immune system by, number 1, filling up the liver with fat, lowering glutathione. And 2, by suppressing the T cells in your body, the Navy SEALs, your first responders, the fighters, the one that'll take on bad bugs, bad viruses, bad everything. Your T cells are unreal. First of all, they have antennas for the sun. But you see how they make the boogeyman? Oh, the sun. You don't want to get out in the sun. That'll give you cancer. No, if you don't go in the sun, it'll give you cancer. Did you get that email on glutathione? Okay. I got excited this morning again. I always tell myself before the program, don't get so excited. But I do. Okay, guys. Did you have fun today? Okay. You guys know what's true. I listened to a guy the other day, and he's got a radio show, and he said, this is the truth, and it's settled. You know, that kind of thing, you know. Okay. Hey, guys. You're not going to hear this on the mainstream. You just won't. It's only controversial because it goes against the narrative. It ought not to be controversial. But understand the difference between propaganda and the truth. And the truth will set you free. The truth will set you free. Okay, now, are you ready for Friday? Question and answer Friday? Send me in those questions. Always a great session. Okay? And we got a couple of more days before Friday. So those are going to be fun. Okay? So we got some good studies and things that are interesting, and, you know, we'll bring that to you. If you're not a member of the private Facebook group, become a member. If you want to join up for Thursday, September 1st, right? Am I right? I think so. Thursday, we start the reset, a bunch of us, okay? I already got started ahead of time. Cleaning out the liver from the summer, okay? And you know what, guys? Let me just say something about the reset. The reset you can start at any time. And for people who've done the 30-day program, you can do it again and again and again, or you can do it for a week, or you can do it for 2 weeks. For those, for people who have severe metabolic syndrome that are in that 93% of the population, you want to fix everything, including insulin resistance, you need to do 30 days. Do the 30-day program. You can do it. You can. And I'm telling you, that this is the greatest program of food. It's the greatest detoxer. It's the greatest. And I mean it, because it fixes a huge problem. Insulin resistance, it empties the liver, it elevates your glutathione, yada, yada, yada. That's what it does, folks. Okay? Now, I better breathe. Okay. We love you guys. We'll talk to you soon.